guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another what I eat in a day. Started off my morning with some Motivate Burn. I do have a coupon code for this. This is what gets me in the mood for doing my workouts in the morning. I am inspired by this. I get in there, I do my bike, I sip on my Motivate Burn, then I'm ready to go with my strength training workouts. I did I believe it was like a 12-minute, 13-minute sculpt and sweat, and I used my 5-pound weights. Then after my workout, I did mix up some creatine with, I brought this with me to work, a creatine with the Propel electrolytes. So I sipped on that while I was working in the morning after I got to my office. I also had a coffee this morning while I was getting ready for work, and I just used a cup of the Fairlife milk with one of the Get Loaded coffees, and this is a protein milk or protein coffee. So I had that while I was getting ready. For my breakfast this morning, I am having the Power Waffles. So I actually took this with me to the office, and I ate these about, I don't know, it's probably about 8:30 or so. And I did pair that with a Dandelion Fit Greek yogurt and some sugar-free syrup. I love these waffles. They are so good, especially this blueberry ones. I am so glad that I brought these for breakfast today. Good morning. Happy Monday. Last week was a bit crazy. It ended up being one of those weeks where everything was so disjointed and I could not find a time to edit. It's just something happened every single day. So I know I failed on the Vlogtober. I feel like I did pretty good compared to how I've done in the past. So we're going to try to finish out this week strong. Finish out the month strong, I should say. I also have goals this week just to, and one of the other things that happened last week was the scale is still like not budging. It just keeps going up, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, why is it doing this besides just normal hormonal stuff? I do think my stress hormone was probably pretty high last week, and like the week before with all the stuff going on with my dogs and my husband and all of that. Really quickly on my husband, he has a doctor's appointment today to follow up on the CT scan, and it sounds like, I think we're going to get referred to an ear, nose, and throat doctor to find out what is going on, but he's seeing his primary care today because they had to put him on a round of antibiotics, and it still did not take away all the pressure he's having in his head. He's had just a few dizzy spells since the last time he was having them, like every single day, you know, for like a week, and where, you know, he couldn't even sit down or couldn't stand up. I mean, it's bad. So he had one this weekend, so I'm gonna say Saturday night, and he had a couple last week. So he's seeing his primary care today at 10:30. So we'll find out, but more than likely, I think she's going to refer him to her ear, nose, and throat doctor, but we'll see what she says. So maybe we're still don't know, but at least at this point where things are moving. So there's that. The Friday before, one of my dogs went in for surgery. He seems to be doing great. His surgery went really well. He had like dental stuff, but then we had to get some things fixed on him and some things removed. So he seems to be doing okay. He actually bounced back super quickly. He's 12, and that was my Chihuahua. Well, then Monday, this is what kind of started my week off of my week of craziness. So Monday morning, had to take my Yorkie. He had to have dental surgery. At first glance, they didn't think that his would just be a kind of a minor teeth cleaning. So I took him in there. I asked to have a full exam done on him beforehand because he hadn't had one since April. And I had taken him for blood work the previous week, and they said his blood work looked great. He's 13. He does have a bit of a heart murmur, which made me a little nervous, but they said it's normal with age, and the vet felt really confident with the blood tests and stuff, which the blood test tests the heart and the lungs and kidneys, liver, all of that, just to make sure they can, handle the anesthesia. So we were waiting to hear all day. It got to be very frustrating because this is what happened also with my Chihuahua. Like we dropped him off at 7 in the morning. We did not hear anything. He didn't even go in for his procedure until like 3 o'clock. With my Yorkie, again, we hadn't heard anything, but finally about 2 o'clock, my husband called. And they said that they were in the middle of the surgery, and so they said they'd call us right when he got done. Well, we're waiting. Well, then about 3:30 or so, we still hadn't heard anything, and so I tried to call, and that they were trying to find, and then they said that he was still in the surgery. So and I was like, okay, this seems like a really long surgery. So then about 4:15, I called again, and they said that he was in recovery. And that was just the lady at the front desk. She goes, well, there's a vet tech should be calling you. But she's like, let me go see what I can find out. So she went and talked to the vet tech, and they said that, yeah, he's in recovery. They called me when he started waking up a little bit more. So, and I'm like, okay, well, at least I felt good that he was in recovery. Then I did not hear from the vet tech till 5:30, and she said, okay, he's ready to go home. So I get there, and they said that his surgery ended up being a little bit more complicated because he had a couple of fistulas they had to repair. And I knew he would be a little bit more difficult, more whiny, because he's like that in general. And he was not having it. Like, he was not happy. He was really super clingy. So I did start to record on Monday, but then by the end of the day, there was just no time I could edit because he wanted to just be right there on me. And so I could not, and he didn't want daddy. Like, when he's not feeling well, he wants me. When he's scared, like fireworks, you know, noisy, you know, things going on in the neighborhood, the power going out, like scary stuff, he goes to daddy. But for when he's not feeling well, he wants me. And if I was trying to get him off me, he was just whining so bad. I was so stressed out. I didn't even eat dinner that night. Like, I couldn't. Like, it just, the thought of it was making me like super nervous. I mean, I was just, because he was just not feeling well. Tuesday, he still was not doing the best. I mean, he seemed okay. He wasn't like lethargic or anything like that. He was just so clingy. Like, he was so clingy with my husband all day while they were at home. And then when I got home, he just wanted me. And so again, like, I could not find a time to edit and everything. Wednesday, I had to go to work super early because we had to go visit a school district. And so that threw my day off. And then Thursday was my only like normal day. My dog was feeling much better by then. But then work was really busy. I was just like boom, like just one thing after another. And then Friday, I ended up having to go to a conference, a half-day conference in a town a couple hours south of us. And so I had to be to work by like 6:45 that morning. And I didn't get back from the conference until 2, got home. And it was just, so that's why I could not do a weigh-in. It was just a crazy week. And so, but also I was not in the best mindset either because I kept stepping on the scale every single day, and it just was not, it was just really frustrating me. But I was super stressed out with my dog and everything. Then this weekend, my dog just bounced right back just like that. He's been great all weekend. He hates taking his medicine. They have him on an antibiotic, and some pain meds. He's been really resistant to take it, but we've been getting it down. At first, he did not have much of an appetite, so we were kind of worried because he wasn't eating or drinking, so we were just watching him, and finally he started doing all that. So it was just a very stressful week between work and my dogs. It was just a week. So fast forward to today. We're doing great today. I feel good because I meal prepped yesterday, got up this morning, and as you guys saw, I did a little workout, took my Motivate Burn. Oh, what is that? Oh, the garbage truck. I have my creatine, which I haven't taken yet. What I'm doing is I brought a little bit of that. I brought some of that creatine and my Propel, so my electrolytes. I'm going to mix those together when I get in there, and I'm going to drink that because I already have my coffee this morning. I wanted to get a little protein in first thing this morning while I was getting ready for work, so I had my protein coffee already while I was getting ready. I just feel really good because I did all the things. Now it's time to go in and let's see what this work week is going to bring me. For lunch today, I'm having this chicken pasta salad. This was so good, and it actually was so much better the second day after I made it. So let me show you how I put this together. So first up, I have a can of the Kirkland chunk chicken breast. I know a lot of people don't like canned chicken breast. You can use just regular chicken breast shredded up. I did some Italian herbs. I did not measure because you guys know I just measure with my heart when it comes to seasoning. I have some cucumbers, some shredded carrots, and some mini bell peppers. I did 1 full cucumber, about a half a cup of shredded carrots, and I think I did 4 mini bell peppers. Then I did 1.5 ounces. Oh no, I'm sorry. I did 3 ounces of the pasta. So it'd be 1.5 ounces for each serving. Used some of the Salad Supreme seasoning. It was so good. And then I used 4 tablespoons of the Greek yogurt. I'm making 2 servings, by the way. So 4 tablespoons of the Greek yogurt, Greek dressing. And I did weigh that out. And this dressing is so good. I had it left over from another recipe, and I am so glad that I thought to use it in this recipe. And here you go. I have 2 servings of the chicken pasta. And like I said, so good, so simple. You can really make it any way you want. And then for a little snack this afternoon, I did have a Nick Sticks. I love these spicy turkey ones, and they are not spicy, y'all. They are not spicy. Don't be afraid to get them. For dinner, I'm going to do a wild rice and chicken soup. Now, I already made this the day before, so this is meal prepped. I have 2 tablespoons of I Can't Believe It's Not Butter Light, some onions, then we have some carrots and some celery. So I just did some whole carrots. I think I did about 4 whole carrots and like 4 or 5 celery ribs. Then I had this poultry seasoning because I was out of thyme, the seasoning. So it needs sage and thyme. I only had sage, so I just used the poultry seasoning, which is all of that. And then I also used some rosemary. And then I did put a little bit of sage on its own in there as well. And then of course put salt and pepper in there. But I love poultry seasoning. I feel like it just smells like Thanksgiving. And then some bay leaves. So this is all I had left of my bay leaves. So I put those in there. But first up, I did saute the veggies and the spices. You guys know I always say saute that stuff up because it really adds to the flavor. I forgot I was gonna add in the chicken and the bay leaves before I added the broth. So we'll come back to the broth. But saute up your veggies so they have a nice crystallization on there. And then you will add in your liquid and your chicken and all that. So I'm adding in some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. It's about 20, I believe it's about 20 ounces or so is what I ended up putting in there. And just put them in there whole because you're gonna shred them up. And then 6 cups of chicken stock. Now I prefer to use chicken stock versus chicken broth. I feel like it just has so much more flavor. So I did 6 cups of chicken stock. And then I put this on high because I was doing it later in the afternoon on Sunday. So I did it on high for 4 hours. And then I just shredded up the chicken. Oh, we forgot about the rice. We did say this was wild rice. So we are adding in 3/4 of a cup of this wild blend rice, which is a blend of wild rice, red rice, and brown rice, I believe. Add that in there and then put it on low or on high for 4 hours or on low for 8 hours till your chicken is cooked through. Shred up your chicken, and this is what you're gonna have, you guys. This is so, so good. I will have up here on the screen the stats for this, but it is such low calorie, high protein, and not even very many carbs or anything. So my day ended up with not very many calories. I would have preferred to have more calories than this. So I had 1,168 calories, 121 grams of protein though, and 22 Weight Watcher points. And that is everything I had today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye guys.